During the national salute to hospitalized veterans, Chuck Norris revealed something far deeper than celebrity or martial skill. At 85, his presence spoke of a quiet strength forged not in spotlight moments, but in years of endurance, humility, and respect for sacrifice. While many recognize him for films and legendary toughness, Chuck's truest power has always lived beneath the surface. It is the strength to stand steady when life is uncertain, to honor others without needing recognition, and to remain grounded despite fame. His connection to veterans reflects shared understanding rather than performance, an unspoken bond built on discipline, loss, and perseverance. Long before Hollywood, Chuck learned that real courage is rarely loud. It is patient, resilient, and deeply human. His life story, stretching from hardship to honor, shows that strength is not about dominance, but about rising again and again when life tests your resolve. A childhood marked by fear. Born Carlos Ray Norris in Ryan, Oklahoma, Chuck's early years were shaped by hardship and instability. Poverty pressed hard against the family, and emotional tension filled their home. His father, a veteran himself, struggled deeply after returning from service, carrying invisible wounds that often surfaced as anger and unpredictability. For a young boy, home became a place of constant alertness rather than safety. Chuck learned to stay quiet, to observe, and to endure. These early experiences planted fear, but they also planted awareness. He understood early that survival sometimes meant restraint, patience, and emotional control. While the world outside seemed small and unforgiving, his inner world was learning lessons that would later define him. The child who once hid from conflict was unknowingly developing the foundation for discipline, resilience, and empathy, traits that would guide him long after fear loosened its grip. The strength of a mother. In the midst of chaos, Chuck's mother Wilma became the family's anchor. Raising 3 sons under relentless pressure, she embodied quiet bravery. Her faith, determination, and refusal to surrender to despair left a lasting imprint on Chuck. She found ways to provide food, protection, and hope when circumstances offered little of any. Wilma's influence was not loud or forceful. It was steady and unwavering. She taught Chuck that strength could be gentle, that courage could be patient, and that love could exist even in broken places. One defining moment came when young Chuck instinctively moved to protect her during a frightening outburst. That act was not about aggression, but resolve. In that instant, he made a silent promise to himself to never allow fear to define the man he would become. Escape and rebirth. At 16, Wilma made a decision that changed everything. Leaving Oklahoma behind, she moved the family to California in search of safety and opportunity. It was not an easy journey, but it was necessary. For Chuck, the move felt like a release of breath he had been holding for years. Though the memories traveled with him, they no longer controlled him. California represented possibility, a chance to redefine himself beyond survival. The scars of childhood became sources of motivation rather than limitation. He learned that starting over did not mean forgetting the past. It meant choosing not to be ruled by it. This transition marked the beginning of Chuck's personal rebirth. The quiet boy from Oklahoma began to understand that life could be shaped intentionally through effort, discipline, and courage rather than fear alone. Discipline in uniform. Seeking structure and direction, Chuck joined the U.S. Air Force at 18. Military life offered him what he had long lacked: order, clarity, and purpose. Stationed in South Korea, he was introduced to martial arts, an experience that would transform his life. Training was demanding, humbling, and relentless. He failed often in the beginning, but failure no longer frightened him. Each fall became instruction, each correction a step forward. Martial arts gave Chuck a language for discipline and self-mastery. It was never about fighting others, but about controlling himself. Through repetition and perseverance, fear slowly gave way to confidence. The chaos of his early life was replaced by structure, focus, and balance. In uniform and on the mat, Chuck discovered that strength grows not from force, but from consistency and inner control. Building from nothing. After leaving the Air Force, Chuck returned to California determined to build something meaningful. With limited resources, he opened a small karate school, often teaching to empty rooms. Still, he showed up every day. That consistency became his quiet advantage. Slowly, students arrived, not just for technique, but for the values he embodied. Competition followed, not out of ego, but out of curiosity about his own limits. Each match tested discipline, patience, and resolve. By the late 1960s, Chuck had risen to the top of his field, earning championship titles through effort rather than flash. Success did not change his approach. He remained grounded, focused on growth rather than applause. What began as a way to rebuild his life became a path to mastery, showing him that perseverance compounds quietly, often unnoticed, until it reshapes everything. From dojo to screen, Hollywood entered Chuck's life unexpectedly, bringing new challenges that tested him in unfamiliar ways. Acting required vulnerability, patience, and resilience of a different kind. His early film roles were met with rejection and skepticism, but rejection was no stranger to him. Each setback echoed earlier lessons. Show up, stay disciplined, keep moving forward. Breakthrough came gradually, culminating in roles that resonated because they felt authentic. Audiences connected not just to his physical presence, but to the integrity behind it. Even as fame grew, Chuck remained reserved, uninterested in spectacle. His performances reflected values, loyalty, courage, restraint that mirrored his life philosophy. Hollywood became a platform, not a destination. It allowed him to share stories shaped by perseverance, reminding viewers that heroes are not born invincible. They are built through hardship and resolve, love, loss, and devotion. Despite success, Chuck's life carried deep personal loss. The death of his younger brother in Vietnam left a wound that never fully healed. Grief remained private, carried quietly alongside achievement. Relationships, too, brought lessons. His first marriage endured many years before ending, shaped by distance and changing priorities. Later in life, love returned in the form of Gena O'Kelly. Together, they built a family centered on presence rather than fame. When Gena faced serious health challenges, Chuck stepped away from public life without hesitation. His focus narrowed to care, advocacy, and unwavering support. In that season, strength revealed its truest form. Not physical dominance, but devotion. He proved that courage sometimes means standing still, staying close, and choosing love repeatedly, even when outcomes are uncertain. A legacy beyond fame. Chuck Norris's legacy is not defined by movies, titles, or myths. It lives in the example he set, of discipline shaped by hardship, courage guided by compassion, and strength grounded in humility. From a fearful childhood to a life of service, his journey reminds us that adversity does not disqualify us, it prepares us. At 85, his story resonates not because of what he conquered, but because of what he endured and transformed. True strength, his life teaches, is not about overpowering the world, but about mastering oneself. It is found in perseverance, in loyalty, and in the quiet decision to rise again. Chuck Norris stands as a testament to the enduring power of resilience, love, and the human spirit when shaped by purpose rather than fear.